Hey, so I wanted to share a little bit about how Storytell ships product and how shipping product falls on the umbrella of the operating system, the company operating system that we are creating, which is not just engineering and product, but encompasses the entire company. And so this is just a little bit of a primer into, or I guess a view into how we're building Storytell. One of the first things that we do, I mean, we're a small team, about a dozen people, but we really believe, and I learned from my last company, which we scaled up, which was a DevOps company, it's so valuable to really try to codify what we call the company OS. And so we've got this field guide, it's public. And the way that we would describe a company operating system is basically, we think this is a great graphic. Morning boys, how's the water? What the hell is water? Right? Every team has at its core a set of assumptions, beliefs, principles, practices, processes, and policies that act as the foundation upon which day-to-day work unfolds. And so we're trying to be intentional about that. It exists at every company. The question is just how intentional is the company about it? What we specifically are doing is we're using a framework that's coming from a book called The Advantage. Phenomenal book. And thank you to the Netflix team. I know that Reed has really gotten like Netflix execs to all like live this book. This book outlines several things. What is the core purpose? So what is the fundamental reason for the company's existence? What's the market positioning? So where do we stand in the market today? What strategic bets are we making? What are our business goals? How do we work? What are our operating principles and what are our values? And so what we do in this field guide is we say, like, this page is about our core purpose, and our core purpose is to help our users be limitless, right? We really believe that AI is going to allow people, humans, to become limitless and to move from uncertainty into confidence, and we're specifically helping them turn the chaos of unstructured data into actionable intelligence. And so our market positioning to do that is that we're building a collaborative intelligence platform for unstructured data. Most data inside a company is unstructured, and there aren't really good ways to work with it. It's just this fire hose that's coming at people. So we are building a collaborative intelligence platform for unstructured data to enable our users to be limitless. Then we've got our strategic bets, which I'm not going to talk a lot about in this video. And we've got our business goals that we use. We use something called OMGs, which are like OKRs, but again, that's a separate video. And then we have a lot about how we work. And this is about aligning us as a crew, as storytellers, so that we're working in ways that create flow, right? We're not like colliding with each other. And so there's a lot about how we work. One thing is we call it creating a traffic circle culture instead of a traffic light culture. And so we talk a lot about what that means. Basically, you're not just waiting for the light to turn green for you to be instructed to go. You have personal responsibility to keep moving as you're getting work done without colliding with others. And so that is part of our culture. But there's a lot more here. And so we're really trying to align people. Honestly, a lot of it is about speed. In a startup, it's about shots on goal, right? And so instead of asking for consensus, instead we encourage people to ask about objections. I'm going to do this unless there's an objection. It's going out. I'm going through that traffic circle. I'm not waiting at a light for it to turn green. I'm going. And so a lot of our how we work culture is around understanding what's safe to try. So again, you're not just like frozen in fear. Can I do this or not? We use Archie, which is like racy, so that we can really define roles and responsibilities. I mean, we even build this into how we use Slack. So we have little Slack emojis. Am I just informing you about something? Or here I'm informing the engineering team, but I'm consulting with the CX team. And so they know to treat it differently. Or I'm asking a specific person to be responsible for something, and then please consult with these people to make it happen. We also use these emojis where we use priorities across the company in similar ways so that we all understand that a P0 means stop everything, do it now, and a P1 means do it next, and a P2 means to prioritize it. So again, around working in very aligned ways. But the most important thing that I wanted to share today is about working with uncertainty and this concept of the cone of uncertainty and what it means for being in different stages of the cone of uncertainty. Let me start by skipping ahead to one of our pages that's about Storytell's core values, which is that market signal is our North Star. There's no facts inside the building. Our truth comes from our users. And there's this famous quote that Henry Ford maybe said, which is that users would have asked for faster horses, right? They'll always know their pain. They'll rarely have the best solutions, even though they think that they do. So we need to ship to learn. We need to try to progressively ship to learn, because we're building something that has a lot of uncertainty. We're not just operating an existing business that's been around for 100 years. So when we're working with high uncertainty and we're trying to figure out what are we building, we call this to be in a state of unknown unknowns, where we are inventing. We go from inventing to learning to operating. And so this reduces the cone of uncertainty as we figure things out. But importantly, we have unknown unknowns. It's not well understood. We don't know what we don't know. Failure is expected. And so we don't use dates. This is really important. We work in a priority and not a date-based mode when we're in this high cone of uncertainty. The closest that we get to setting dates is setting check-in dates. So I'll update you on my progress by Friday, for example. As we reduce the cone of uncertainty and we start to understand what something's looking like, we get into this state of known unknowns. We can validate our assumptions. Failure's targeted. We set target dates here. And so we're targeting certain dates, which is very different from being in operating mode, where we just know that, it's working. And so we can set firm dates for things where we're operating. So we've got this concept of shipping code, but really shipping all our work. So this isn't just for product and engineering. It's for the entire company, like Bob Ross paints. So how does Bob Ross paint? He starts with this really broad outline, and then he fills detail in as he goes, right? And so he ends up with this picture, but he doesn't draw this all from the beginning. He starts with these broad brushstrokes. And so our goal is to ship to learn, to shift left to ship faster and lower our cost of learning, so that we can be shipping and learning even just sketches, right? Before we're even writing code, we're shipping ideas to users. So we say, ship fast crude MVPs with broad brushstrokes to start. Ask, is my crude MVP already better than what's otherwise available to the user? If yes, ship it now, even if you could make it better. Aaron, our principal engineer, says, he's got a great quote: first make it work, then make it right, finally make it delightful. And so we've got, this is really a big part of our culture. And so we do a lot of shipping ideas, right? Here are mocks that we're going to start building. We want to know, what do you think about this? It's just so valuable to be getting feedback from actual users before we actually start to build anything. The way we actually, where the rubber hits the road in product and engineering, we use Linear. Linear is great. It's like a modern version of Jira. And we start with initiatives. This is the highest level view. And so initiatives is like the big container of things that we are doing. You can see there's active, planned, and completed initiatives. Each initiative has an owner, and then it has a set of projects, and those projects can be in progress all the way through a backlog. Then each project has a set of issues, and we go from backlog through to do, through blocked, through in progress, through PR and review, deployed to dev, releasable to prod, release needs docs, release no docs needed, and then done. We can also see that there is a deep GitHub integration with Linear. I can easily see the status of the PR. And for issues that are already released, like this one, we've got a really nice log of everything that's happened to this ticket or issue. We can see which issues are related or sub-issues or parent issues of this one. And for merged PRs, or PRs as they're going through the process of being deployed, first go out to a Vercel ephemeral environment, which is incredible because we can see them on the ephemeral environment before they're even on our development server. For example, this, which is releasable to prod right now, we can go to the PR, and then from here, we can go to the ephemeral environment, and we can see that this is a Vercel ephemeral environment that's just created for us to be able to see this before it goes through our development, staging, production, release process. You can also see that we're running CI on every release, every PR, and we actually make available our development environments on discrete URLs instead of subdomains. So storytell-development.ai, it's totally open, anybody can see it. Storytell-staging.ai is our staging server before it finally gets promoted to storytell.ai. Having these open development and staging servers is an example of us living one of our values, that we default to transparency. We also use Storytell to build Storytell, which is an example of high leverage thinking. Each release gets pushed to a rollouts channel automatically. And then our CX team literally takes everything from this release page and runs it through Storytell in order to create these beautiful change logs, very readable change logs, including explaining it simply. There's a lot more in this field guide about how we interact as humans, including how we practice clean communication. We have structured processes for giving and receiving feedback. There's just a lot to the ways that we're trying to just align our crew so that we can all work towards a common goal together. Hope that's a helpful view into how we build and how we ship and how we work. Ciao.